Hi, I'm Juan, level designer at Megon, and this is the first episode of our series of tutorial videos for the level editor of Lonely Mountains Snowriders. If you look in our main menu under Training Grounds, you'll find the button to go to the editor. In the editor, you will be able to create, publish, and upload your very own creations. The first thing you will find when you open the editor is the trail list menu. Here you will find all the levels that you have created. If it's the first time you open it, it will still not be empty. An editor example level will already be there. We have created this level for you to see what is possible with our level editor. So feel free to open it and look around if you need some inspiration. If you're ready to create your very own levels, then let's go here to the top left corner where it says New Level. It will take us to the initial setup for a new level. First, let's give our new level a name. You will not be able to create a level if you leave these fields blank. So let's click here where it says Unknown and give it a name. I myself will keep it simple and call it Tutorial Level. The next thing we will look into is the biome setting. You can use one of the biomes from the official trails in the main game. The biome will define the terrain colors and which assets you will be able to use in your trail. That is, trees, bushes, rocks, and other things. For example, if we were to choose the Tannenstein biome, you will only be able to use the trees that are found within Tannenstein. The same goes for Monte Guanaco, Sierra Gelida, Baifushan, and if you own the Highlands DLC, you will also be able to use the Ben Fjärdheim biome. Let's go back to our Tannenstein biome and use that one for our tutorial level. The last setting from the initial setup is our terrain height. Long story short, the terrain in the editor can go from 0 terrain units and up to 1000 terrain units. The initial terrain height can be low, that means at the very bottom, medium, about 500 units of height, and high, which will be at about 900 units of height. You can change the height of the terrain later. This will just be the initial height where your level will start once you create it. I would recommend using the high setting since we usually create our levels from the top to the bottom. Now let's click our big Create New Level button to get our brand new level. Of course, your level starts with just a terrain plane. Before we actually get to editing our level, I want to explain to you how you can move around the editor. Firstly, if you hold the middle mouse button, that is your mouse wheel, you can move around the editor. You can rotate if you hold the right mouse button and drag it. Let's move again. And you can zoom in and zoom out by scrolling your mouse wheel to the front to zoom in and to the back to zoom out. The left mouse button will of course be used to interact with most things, like selecting props or selecting tools. Let's get familiar with our editor UI. First thing here to the left, you will find the tools window. It includes all the tools that you will be able to use to build your level. That includes the terrain tools, which will help you shape your terrain. The decoration tools, where you will find all the assets like trees, bushes, and rocks to decorate your levels. The water tools, related to rivers and lakes. The time and weather tool, which is related to the weather and lighting of your level. The level camera mostly contains the camera modifiers, which will help adjust the camera when using the classic fixed direction camera. And finally, the trail interactions. A variety of tools that will help you create the interactions of the trails. This includes the checkpoints and the resting spots. The tools window is enabled by default, but you can hide it by pressing X. If you want to bring it back, you just need to press X again. Our next window is to the bottom right corner, the preview camera. It's also enabled by default, and you can hide it with C, or re-enable it also pressing C again. The preview camera shows you how your level will look like when playing with the fixed direction camera. Finally, there's another window that is hidden by default. If we press V, we will reveal the history window. Anything you do to your level will be shown here as your editor history. We can hide it again by pressing V, since it takes space and you usually don't need it too often. Now, if we go all the way to the top left corner, these are your file settings. If we open it, we get a lot of different options. From here, we can publish our levels, and once it's published, we can upload them to the Steam workshop so you can share it with other players. We can also edit the name and author of the level. We can duplicate the level in case you want to create a copy. We also from here can create a new level. Make sure you save your level before creating or loading another level. We have the editor settings, the editor windows, which are the same windows I explained before. You can also enable it and disable it from here, and you can quit the editor. I actually don't want to quit the editor, so let's click on continue. Let's go real quick to the editor settings. Here you have firstly the autosave option. If you enable it, you can choose an interval of time for automatic saving. However, keep in mind that whenever the interval is met, the editor will force save, which will stop whatever you are doing right now with the editor until the level is saved. It takes a few seconds, but it can cut your flow. Of course, if you don't trust yourself to build the habit of saving manually every so often, you may prefer to have autosaving enabled. Then we have the editor camera. Here you can modify the way you move around the environment with the editor camera. It is not really necessary to modify any of these values right now, as the defaults will be fine for most people. Up in the middle we have the play button, along as other settings for the play mode within the editor. I will be explaining those in a later video. And finally, here to the right, you will find the filter views. I will also further show them later on, but first I will show you that if you click this map icon, you will refocus the camera to look at the level at its default position. Let's finish our tutorial by going back to the top left corner and clicking our save button. You can also use Ctrl S to save. Remember to keep on saving your level every so often, so you don't lose significant progress if something comes up. And that will be the end of this first tutorial video. You can keep on watching the playlist, so you can start building your very own levels. Thanks for watching.